Imagine a creature that is more armor than animal, a living tank that scuttles across the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean floor. Before we dive into its bizarre story, let's get the highlights out of the way. We're talking about a giant, 14-legged crustacean that looks like a prehistoric woodlouse or a roly-poly on steroids. It can grow up to 16 inches long, about the size of a small cat, and it's capable of not eating for half a decade. This is the giant isopod, and it feels like a biological glitch, a creature that the universe forgot to patch. Now, let's begin the story of Bathynomus. In the crushing pressure and eternal darkness of the deep sea, these creatures are the professional janitors. They are the cleanup crew for the abyss. When a massive creature, like a whale, finally ends its journey and sinks to the bottom, it's called a whale fall. This event is a buffet for the deep, and the giant isopods are the first to get the invitation. They arrive in the hundreds, a swarming army of armored bugs, to pick the bones clean. Their dedication to eating is almost unsettling. They will gorge themselves, stuffing their bodies so full of decaying flesh that they literally cannot move. They become so bloated and heavy that they have to just sit there and digest, immobilized by their own gluttony. It's a feast or famine lifestyle, and when they feast, they go all in. But as incredible as their feasting habits are, their most terrifying and frankly most respectable trait is their patience, a patience that borders on the supernatural. There's a famous incident that took place in a Japanese aquarium that perfectly illustrates this. A giant isopod, affectionately named Isopod No. 1, was brought into captivity. And then, it decided to do nothing. It refused to eat for 5 consecutive years. That's over 1,800 days. The aquarium staff tried everything. They offered it different kinds of fish, shrimp, anything they thought might entice it. But no, one just sat there, motionless, staring out of the glass. It wasn't sick or dying. It was just waiting. It seemed to defy the very laws of biology out of sheer, unadulterated spite. It was as if it was protesting its situation in the most passive-aggressive way imaginable. Eventually, after 5 years and 43 days of this hunger strike, it passed away, leaving scientists and keepers completely baffled. How could an animal survive for so long without food? This single act cemented the giant isopod's reputation as one of the most resilient and stubborn creatures on the planet. Let's take a closer look at the hardware this thing is running. It's built for a world we can barely comprehend. Up front, it has 2 pairs of antennae. One short pair, one long pair, constantly tasting and feeling the water, searching for the faintest scent of a distant meal. And then there are its eyes. It possesses massive compound eyes made up of thousands of individual lenses. They don't see in color or sharp detail, but they are incredibly sensitive to light. In the rare event that a submersible's lights shine upon them, they reflect back with an eerie, ghostly glow, like a cat's eyes in the dark. But here's the twist. For all their size and complexity, these eyes are mostly useless. In the complete blackness of the abyss, there's nothing to see. The isopod is functionally blind, navigating its world through touch and smell alone. So picture this creature in its natural habitat. It's a blind, armored, perpetually starving gargoyle crawling slowly across the ocean floor. It's a relic from another time. The ancestors of giant isopods were around long before the dinosaurs, and they've survived every single mass extinction event that Earth has thrown at life. The asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs? The isopod just shrugged and kept crawling. The massive volcanic eruptions that choked the skies? Didn't bother it. It has survived by simply being too stubborn to die, too well adapted to its extreme, unchanging environment to be affected by the chaos on the surface. It just waits. It waits for days, months, or years for its next meal to fall from above. It's the ultimate survivalist. When you really break it down, the entire existence of the giant isopod sounds like something from a science fiction movie. A giant armored bug with 14 legs, reflective eyes it can't see with, that can survive for years without eating and lives at the bottom of the ocean. It's 100% factual-ish. Because the reality is so absurd it feels like a tall tale. Only in the bizarre high-pressure world of the deep ocean can a giant, 14-legged potato be considered a pinnacle of evolution. It's not fast, it's not smart, and it's not pretty. But it is a survivor, a master of its domain, and a testament to how strange and wonderful life can be when you push it to its absolute limits. These creatures remind us that there are entire worlds and ecosystems operating on rules completely alien to our own, right here on our own planet. They are a perfect example of how life finds a way, even if that way involves being a lazy, armored glutton that outlives everything. Thanks for joining this deep dive into one of the ocean's weirdest residents. If you enjoy stories about creatures that defy expectations and outlive just about everything, make sure to subscribe for more.